All right, it is July 9th here, and we're starting off our food plot season now. This plot last year, I had some winter oats, a little bit of Brassica mix in it. This year I'm gonna go back to pretty much straight Brassicas. I disked it this spring, so the ground is nice and soft, and as you can see, it's covered in weeds right now, so we are spraying. So we're gonna get this sprayed up July 9th. I'll let her sit for a while. I might mow it right down to nothing and then come through with the disc, and then this plot should be ready to go. I am also gonna put ash on this plot just to keep that pH up, and then fertilize. Spraying today with just a wand sprayer. I just go back and forth on it, and if you're doing a half an acre or so, it's not too bad. If you're doing much more than that, you're gonna probably want a boom sprayer. I'll do this spot, and then I have a real small plot back in the woods that I'm gonna also spray here when I'm done. But total about a half an acre. And I will say, one thing I have kind of learned is bigger is not always better. Fertilizer prices are kind of crazy this year. So if you're gonna try to put a bunch in and you're gonna skimp on your fertilizer, you're gonna skimp on your other, your lime or your ash, try to skip spraying, your food plots are probably not going to turn out very good. So you're better off doing a half an acre, getting your pH right, spraying it, and then fertilizing it well. And you're going to end up with a lot better product. And then I've also got a large alfalfa field out here. So this spot is just to kind of keep the deer on the middle of my property, or at least get them coming here at night. I had a lot of nice buck pictures on this plot last year. Where I know the deer were coming off the bigger ag fields and then spending a lot of the night in here. I did see, I think twice I saw those bucks during daylight while I was hunting, but never got a shot at them. So we're gonna get that done here. And then in a couple weeks, we will be planting. And I'm gonna try to maybe do a little step-by-step as we go this year. So I don't know how easy it is to see here, but one thing I'll do, which is nice about having the wand on the sprayer, is if I hit an area where I got some real thick thistle here, I always make sure I stop and I kind of get it from head to toe. Anytime I see some real bad weeds that I don't like, I always make sure I stop and give them just a little extra douse, especially if they're longer. Because this thin stuff, you pass right over it, you missed it, it kills it pretty dead. But sometimes if you get the larger, taller stuff, you kind of got to hit her just a little bit more. All right, so we're back out at the food plot here. It's been about a week since I sprayed this plot, and everything browned up pretty nice. I mowed it down this morning. Now we're gonna spread ash. And most of the farmers around this area use ash. We've got a coal burning power plant that they bring it in by the dump truck load into these fields. But otherwise, kind of comparable to lime. Helps pH your soil, brings the pH up, and it's a low-grade fertilizer, but it's amazing the difference it makes on these food plots. It just does a really good job when you get your pH up, and I don't know, about every 3 years, I put ash down. I kind of have a rotation. I have a wood-burning furnace, so I got a 55-gallon barrel of ash. I've got another about a 5-gallon pail of ash from this past winter, so that'll give us about a half acre, maybe not quite a half acre, but we'll put it on kind of thin, and kind of low tech, low budget kind of a way to do it. I'm just gonna take the bucket, walk down the field, and shake the bucket out, but the end results are usually pretty good. And then we're looking at rain here in a few days. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, it's gonna rain both days, so hopefully I'll get the ash down, I'll get her disked in, and we'll get her planted before this coming rain. Spent, I don't know, 14 hours or so on the tractor baling hay the last 3 days. So now we are going to get out and play a little bit. Got a pretty good thunderstorm last night, which was actually not forecasted, so the ground is pretty wet, pretty soft. So we're going to get this plot disked under, and then we'll be ready to plant. It is supposed to rain tomorrow night and the following night. So hopefully we can get her disked under, get her planted, and get some fresh rain on her, and this plot should jump. Let's get her done. All right, well, maybe 20 minutes on the plow. I made 2 trips around the food plot, and we got her looking pretty good. As you can see, nothing expensive, you know, old equipment. The kind of equipment you can find at estate sales, just laying around these old farmsteads for a few $100. So you don't have to have big dollars into your equipment to do a pretty nice food plot. Like I said, we kind of went through the steps here. I did disc it this spring, and then I sprayed it early July. I put some ash down on it, and then I disked it again here. Not a lot of steps to it, and this has been an established food plot for quite a few years. So the fact that I spray it every year, I disc it every year, kind of keeps the weeds down, keeps the soil relatively loose. If you're breaking new ground, obviously you got some more steps involved, either rototilling it or plowing it under. But yeah, looks good. We should be ready to plant here whenever we're going to get the rain. Hopefully rain tomorrow and the next day. So I'm hoping if I got time, I'll be back out planting today. All right, I am sweating. It's hot today. Fertilizer's down, so next step, I'm going to drag this food plot. So freshly just disked it this morning. So spread fertilizer. Now we're going to drag it just to ensure the fertilizer is covered, mixed in the soil. The soil's still kind of damp and wet from the rain we got last night, so that should really help that fertilizer just absorb into the soil. And then we are supposed to get more rain tomorrow and the next day. But we'll do that, drag it, then it'll be time to throw some seed down. Getting ready to throw down my seed. It's a Brassica mix, which is turnips and rape. Just using a small hand seeder. You don't put this stuff on very heavy at all. I think it's like 2.5 pounds per half acre. This seeder, probably can't see, but it's got like 1, 2, and 3 settings. Setting 1 is like that. And again, it's hard to tell, but that is way too big. You are going to dump your entire seed, you know, in half of your plot, which if you overseed brassicas, your plot's going to be terrible. They're going to feed off all the nutrients. They're overcrowded. They're going to be stunted. They're going to turn like a reddish color, and you're just not going to get any production. So I actually set this thing at about the 1/2 mark. It is just big enough for that seed to get through, you know, maybe 1/8 of an inch slot. So that's kind of where you want to set if you're just hand spreading for your Brassica mixes. You probably do not want to use a pull behind spreader. Here's the plot all fertilized, and I drug it real good. So let's get the seed down. All right, we're done. You know, after I got done saying don't overseed and set that seeder nice and narrow, I did my first 2 runs down and back and realized I was even putting it on a little too thick. So I narrowed up that seed slot a little bit more and was able to finish out this food plot. So it might be a little heavier on the woods, but we got the seed down. And it's just, you know, I'll say it again, you don't want to overseed your turnip plots. They will not turn out well. So what I'm planting today, shot plot, and it's by Evolved Harvest, and I've had really good luck with it. Our local feed co-op went out of business, so unless I go for a drive out of town, I can't even stop and buy just the generic seed. But I've planted this mix a number of years, and it's always done very, very well for me. The deer like it. And yeah, so we are done. Last thing I want to point out, I do not have a cultipacker. So what I do once I get done planting the seed, you do not want to drag turnip seed. It is too small. You do not want to bury it over 1/4 inch. You do that and you end up not getting your germination. So you can probably tell, I just take my 4-wheeler and I drive around my food plot. Takes maybe 15 minutes to pack down a 1/2 acre real good. And that just establishes that, you know, your seed's in the soil, it's packed in there. If you get some heavy rain, it's not going to wash it away. It's not going to end up burying it too deep in most instances, which we might have some thunderstorms tonight, which sometimes means a lot of rain in a short period of time. And if that happens, our plot is nice and packed down and it should be in good shape. So I will stop back here, in a few weeks, and we'll take a look at how it's doing. All right, so I'm back on my second little food plot that I'm doing today. This one's just a small one back in the woods, maybe 1/4 acre in size. And same as my big plot, I sprayed this one down about 10 days ago. I came in a couple days ago and I mowed everything, just so I didn't have quite as thick of a mess of vegetation to try to disc through. But this little one back in the woods, I am just using, I got a little Honda Rancher and a little, like a 4-foot wide disc plow. They can be a little bit light and not cut things up all that well, so I always add a little bit of weight. I just got a couple cinder blocks on there. And this does a pretty good job, actually, as you can see, getting everything roughed up real good. So I am going to get my fertilizer down, drag it, plant it, and pack it. We'll see what it looks like when we're done. All right, guys, here's the final product here. I got this little plot done, my second plot of the day. This one, I went with the Antler King rape. And like I mentioned before, our local feed store went out of business, so I kind of have to buy the name brand food plot stuff, not the generic seed, which is fine, I guess. For your turnips and your rape seed, the price is pretty comparable, it seems like. Just like my big plot, I fertilized, then drug it, and then I seeded, and then I packed it down with my 4-wheeler tires, and it turned out pretty good. You can see I've got a ladder stand overlooking this little plot, and it's, I don't know, probably not quite a 1/4 acre. It's a pretty small plot, but it should be nice. You can pretty much cover the whole plot with a bow, with the exception of this corner that I'm in here. Starts getting a little far on the range. But yeah, we'll check back in maybe in a couple weeks and see how the plots are doing. But if the weatherman is correct, we got rain coming, so they should do well. There's no reason they shouldn't. All right, just wanted to show you where that little plot back in the woods here, and this is our 1 week progress. Actually, tomorrow is 1 week since we planted this, and you can see everything is germinated really well. Sprayed, waited, I don't know, about 10 days, mowed it down, disked it, planted it, and packed it with the wheeler, and got real nice results. Hi, Hayden. Okay, so I showed you the small plot back in the woods. Here's my bigger plot. And again, this is 6 days out from planting. And we got lucky, it rained the day after we planted. Like I've already gone through the steps multiple times, I guess, but I sprayed it, I waited about 10 days, I mowed everything down, I disked and drug everything, fertilized first and then drug, planted, and then just packed with my ATV tires, and did all that right before it rained. This plot here is a mixture of turnips and rape. And the plot back in the woods is just rape, so it won't have the turnips mixed in with it. But this is 6 days out. We got great, nice, even germination all over the whole plot. If you walk around and take a look, it's looking just about perfect everywhere. So yeah, this plot should turn out real nice.